Don't you love just how casual I am? Like, get yourself a cup of coffee, have a seat, because we're going to have another talk. What I just kind of wanted to say, I hope this video is not 20 minutes long, because who was going to listen to me ramble for that long? I wouldn't. I was actually just getting ready to get in the shower because I have not washed this wig for like a week and it's way overdue. So that's why it looks pretty gross. But just bear with me. But what I want to talk about was during my cardio, I rode the bike for about an hour. I did my devotion. I try to do my devotion during that, and if I don't, I do it in the morning. But lately I just haven't been wanting to do it in the morning. I've just kind of been like really tired and not really wanting to focus. So my focus just hasn't been there. So I've been doing it on the bike, which has been really good. Today I was actually like 5 devotions behind, so it was a really good chance for me to get caught up. And right now what I'm reading, it's their series on like the journey of life. And I've mentioned this before. I do Pocket Fuel is what the website's called. That's where I get my devotions. It's a married couple that writes. And I was reading this. I just felt, I don't know, just like I needed to talk about it, I guess. It kind of has just been sitting on my heart. And I was doing some reflecting earlier today, just, you know, how I've been. Because I think the first video I did a few weeks ago, I talked about like I just wasn't in a good place, just because I had lost a job and my workouts have just kind of fallen short and just my motivation really hasn't been there. And so I was just kind of doing some reflecting on that. And I don't know where this feeling has come, but it feels like the last, week and a half, I've just been so, I don't even know what the word is. But just, I don't know, up here, and I haven't stopped. I mean, I full steam ahead have, watched what I've eaten. I've hit every workout. Every cardio session. I wake up happy. I wake up early, more peaceful, and it could be part of it. I've started up the devotions again, so I feel just a little bit more at peace with everything. I wanted to share some points that they make in the daily devotions and just kind of like my thoughts on it, because I really feel like this could not have came at a more perfect time. It just really resonates with me and like what I've been going through. Talking about how life is a journey, and that they brought up the point that you can't get from point A to point B without some sort of moving, journeying, if that's even a word. Basically saying that it's not instantaneous. And so she brought up a really good point, the wife that wrote it. It took her 30 years to turn 30. You can't get to one birthday without, getting past, the last birthday. It's okay to be on this journey. And that really spoke to me. Like, it's okay to not be at your arrival. Whatever that is, if that's a goal, if that's, a point in your life that you want to be, it's okay to not be there. And what's going on there? And I think that is what I have always struggled with. I would never forget, like a few weeks before my high school graduation, I was talking to my dad just about like life plans, and at that time I was doing something completely different than what I'm doing now. And he told me he was right around the graduation, I was turning 18, so I was kind of becoming like legally an adult. And he said, once you turn 18, once you graduate high school, like, it's up to you. Whatever the choices that you make, you have to lie in the bed. You have to, own those choices. And I swear that was like a life-changing conversation I had with him, because I was like, yeah, you're right. After this, like, I'm not really under your wing anymore. I mean, I still lived at home and they still like took care of me financially and all that, but as far as like whatever I wanted to do, like, that was my choice. And I remember I was so just emotional about it, like, because my whole life, you have somebody like taking care of you, like feeding you, waking you up in the morning, making your lunch. You go through these points in your life where you're taken care of, and the older you get, there's more responsibility out of your plate. Your parents start to back off. And I honestly, I don't think I was ready for it. I was scared. And I do everything, well, not so much now, but then I did everything with my parents' approval. And if I felt like I didn't think they were going to approve of it, if I felt like they were going to be disappointed, like, I wouldn't do it. So the fact that he was like, here you go, like, this is your life, your choices, it was really overwhelming. And I'm getting the feeling that I had 5 years ago. And so that, was a life-changing conversation, and that it's okay. Well, now I'm just now understanding that it's okay. I still haven't arrived, like, where I want to be, like, my goals and stuff. And so with your goal, sorry, I'm like reading my notes like a little kid. With your goal, it's completely about discipline, control, having faith, stepping out of your comfort zone. And I think the big one is embracing change. And you have to understand that, or I don't think anybody is gonna like move forward into what they really want to do. I think another good point that I wrote down here that they had mentioned is that as humans, we love and we want instant results. I feel like we're a pretty like impatient race. I don't think people realize like how easy it is to get food, clothes, gas, like even sitting in traffic, people want to bitch about that. Like, we're just impatient. Applying this to health, people want results quickly. Crash dieting, not so much now, but used to be popular. Lose weight in 10 days, like, thing. People want that. People like, oh, can I get a six pack in 10 days? Like, well, yeah, I'm going to do that. Why would I want to put in work? And I think you are cheating yourself. Consistency is the key in this. And if you got things so easily, I feel like it wouldn't be as rewarding. Now getting to one of my favorite parts of this whole thing, and I think there's more to the series, but I'm not sure, but it was 6 parts. This is so good. I love this. So the first thing is wherever you go, how about I can talk right? There you are. It is important for us to lay down our pride, to admit responsibility of the choices that we make, because ultimately the choices that we make is where you're gonna go. And I love that. And I quite didn't understand that quote, wherever you go, there you are. But it is true. Wherever you go, you've made those choices. Nobody else has made you make these choices to get here. And just, applying this, I feel like I've said that word quite a bit. Sorry. Making this about my life, it's true. Like, okay, so let's just go back to a few weeks ago. I don't have a job. My motivation's kind of low. I'm kind of like not in the mood, like whatever. I have completely made these choices to not work out, to eat like a little jerk, eat whatever I want. And what's amazing to me and everybody else in this world who goes through these kind of things, you want to victimize yourself. You want to play the victim, and you want people to feel sorry for you. And God love my husband. I am so thankful he's in my life, because he is like my voice of reason. And so once, what I love about him so much is that he never feeds into my like whininess or when I am, trying to play the victim. Like, he never feeds into that. And I really love that, because even in that moment when I'm really mad at him, like, stop telling me what I don't want to hear, everything he says, it's true. And, so when I'm complaining about, I haven't worked out, I haven't eating well, he asked the question, like, why haven't you? Okay. And then, then I answer that question, why? And he's like, okay, well then what are you going to change? And so it goes back to, it's all my choices have made me where I am. And so that was like a light switch. And I'm like, you know what? You cannot keep like doing this. And one thing when I was reading this that just stuck out, and I actually tweeted this while I was on the bicycle, was change and transformation cannot take place until we take responsibility of where we are. That is so key. And it's true. Until you realize where you're at, you cannot change, and you can't move forward if you don't take responsibility of what you've been doing. And so that's what I did. Like, okay, a couple weeks, like, you need to step up and, get it together, basically, is what I told myself. And, I did, and now I feel so much better. And all I've been doing is I'm just taking this one day at a time. And so if I can kill it one day at a time, eventually that's going to lead into weeks and months and years, and I hopefully will be where I want to be in, in a few months. And another big point is like embracing where you're at, and like stop being in denial of where you're at. I feel like a lot of people want to do that, even myself. Like, you don't want to admit like, I'm in a really tough place right now. And I just like ask the question, like, why? Like, why do we feel like we are so prideful? We don't want to talk about like the moments in your life where you feel like you've hit rock bottom. I've never understood that, even about myself, about people. Like, why aren't we being real and like discussing these issues? And so, these people who create this, these devotions, like, they really make me work through my issues, and like I'm constantly journaling and like writing down things and just like thinking about things throughout the day. And I do a lot of things that are uncomfortable, like working out every day and like getting back into the rhythm. Like, it's really uncomfortable for me because it's like you're going to a new school. People are used to seeing the same people, and then you walk in, they're like, oh, who's that? What's her story? Which they're probably not even thinking in that, because they're probably too concerned about themselves. But anyways, I'm going to say this again because I just love it. Change and transformation can't take place until we take responsibility of where we're at. And, like I said, every choice you make, wherever you are, it's because of every choice that you've made. And so I think it's important to learn how to make good choices and really keep in mind like what is the goal. And I think that's what has helped me is asking myself, is this going to propel me into where I want to be? Is this choice going to do this? And if it doesn't, I would take a step back and go, okay, then I'm not going to do this. Like, really funny and little tidbit story, whatever you want to call it, anecdote. We were at McDonald's yesterday, and I was in there and I was trying to figure out, I'd eaten really well all day, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to eat. And I saw at first it dawned on me that breakfast is all day. So I'm like, well, heck yeah, like I want to get breakfast. And I saw pancakes, and literally like for a split moment, like just so irrationally, I was like, I want pancakes. It's done. Like, that was it. Like, pancakes. And so I was like, okay. Literally took a step back, was looking at the picture like on the board, and I'm like, is this a good choice? Is this going to get you to your health goal? And I was like, no, not even with the side of sausage, because like #protein, right? And so I was like, okay, then no, like you can't get that, or not can't get it, but I'm choosing not to get it because it's not going to get me to where I want to be. And so that's, those are the kind of things that I think about, just, making those kind of choices, and, every choice. So now that I've talked about that topic forever, I just kind of wanted to end this little life talk on basically real productivity has flow to it, and that just because something doesn't look like it's happening doesn't mean it's not. And so, for instance, or for example, for me, applying it to health once again, just because I don't have that six-pack, you can't even see me. Hey, hi. Just, if you don't have that six-pack, if you feel like you're not losing weight, I know for me, like, it is a rough time for me to drop weight. I feel like it's so freaking slow. Just because it doesn't look like it's happening, it doesn't mean it's not. And for me, and I'm sure everybody out there, there's a lot of stress and anxiety that comes with feeling like you're not doing enough. And so we have got to learn to take a step back and analyze our life and not be so hung up on the things that, that matter. I was going to say not, but like work matters, and like health matters, and relationships matter, but like, don't put things on the back burner that are first priority just because of you feeling like you're never getting enough done. And whether that's like a business, work, like I said, health. I know for me, I will never let anything come in between my marriage and myself. I just won't. My husband is number one priority, obviously, besides God. But and so I have to keep myself in check a lot, because I can get myself very obsessed with losing weight, gaining muscle, eating, I don't know just what I'm even trying to say, but I can just get really obsessed with that, and I just have to keep myself in check. And like I said, like I had gone, a few months without doing, devotions, And, you know, it started to show by a little bit of, not faith, quivering faith. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But with faith kind of fallen, you know, I just wasn't as happy. There was more stress and anxiety into my life. And so it's very important to keep things into perspective and to make sure, you know, you're keeping your priorities. I really hope and pray that this speaks with somebody, because I know this series really helped me. And if you want to check it out, I guess I'll put a link in the description box, just so you can look at it and read it and kind of take it how you want to take it, because this is just my opinions on that. This channel is about health in my life. I just kind of felt like I need to talk about it, so it's pretty raw. I pray that, you know, God speaks through me, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, so hopefully next video will, I guess, be a little bit more entertaining than this. I don't know. But yeah, I will, I guess, see you guys later.